Hey y'all, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Jessie with Southern Fried Sushi Gal. Today's video is part of an open collaboration of holiday desserts hosted by Mandy in the Making. I hope you take the time to watch the other videos in this playlist, which is linked in my description box below, to get some yummy ideas for the holidays. Let's get started. Alright, so today we're going to be making cookie butter stuffed oatmeal cookies. So we've got some chopped pecans. You can use any nuts you want, but I use that. Some semi-sweet chocolate morsels, an egg, brown sugar, a stick of unsalted butter, vanilla extract, cookie butter, baking powder, old-fashioned oats, all-purpose flour, and salt. So this is going to be delicious and so much fun. Alright, so first things first is we're going to take 1.5 cups of the all-purpose flour, and then a 3/4 teaspoon of baking powder. I didn't have a 3/4 teaspoon, so I used a 1/2 teaspoon and 1/4 teaspoon to get what I needed. And then you're going to do a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Alright, once you have all that in your bowl, you're going to whisk it together. I used a whisk, you could use a spoon, doesn't matter, fork, whatever, but you get all that mixed. And then next we're going to take a 3/4 cup of brown sugar packed. I didn't have a 3/4 cup, so I just put it in 1 cup, 3/4 full. So I got that in there, and then you're going to take 1/2 cup of butter softened, which 1/2 cup is normally a stick of butter. So I just used a stick and I softened it in the microwave because ain't nobody got time to wait on that butter to soften on the counter, or at least I didn't today. All right, and so we're gonna get this mixed up. So as I'm mixing, you see that everything's going everywhere because I used too big of a bowl. So after I realized this, I went and got a smaller bowl, which you're gonna see in just a moment, and I dumped all this in there. So here is the smaller bowl. So now that I have my smaller bowl, I'm gonna try and get this nice and mixed until it's got more of a fluffy consistency. So mixy mixy. Alright, so now I'm going to take a teaspoon of vanilla extract and 1 egg. Terrible at cracking eggs, so here we go. Woo, take that out. Don't put that in there. So next we're going to get that blended. Get that all blended up, mixed really well. Doing this on just a medium setting. Alright, so then we're going to take a 1/2 cup of that cookie butter. Oh, if you've never had cookie butter before, it's so good. So good. I could just eat it with a spoon. It's so good. So we got that in there, and now we're going to get that good and blended until it's well mixed. So your batter is going to, of course, get stickier because of that cookie butter is in there. It won't be as liquidy. Such good technical terms I have here. All right, so now that we've got all that mixed in, we're going to take the mixture that we had before, the one that we made at the beginning of the video with the flour and such, and you're going to slowly add in a little bit of flour or a little bit of the mixture, and you're going to blend it. You want to do this on low because otherwise it's going to get crazy. I did it on low and it still got a little crazy. So you're just going to do this a little bit at a time. Oh, lost control of my bowl. How things happen here over here at Southern Fried Sushi Gal. You're just going to keep going. Your dough's going to get more of a sticky, even stickier than before. Kind of starts flinging everywhere. I definitely made a mess. You can't see it on my counter because the color's on my counter, but it got everywhere. But blended up real nice. Got that all done. All right, so that's how it looks. So now we're going to take a cup of the old-fashioned oats. And then I'm going to do 1/3 chocolate chips. I didn't chop them. I just left them as chips. The recipe says chopped. I left them this way. They were just fine. 1/3 cup of nuts. I use pecans. You can use whatever nuts you want to. I like pecans. And then it also called for 1/3 of dried cranberries. I'm actually not a dried fruit kind of person, so I didn't use the dried cranberries. I instead took a 1/3 cup and added 1/2 of the pecans and 1/2 of the chocolate chips and dumped that in there. After eating the cookie, honestly, I think that it would have been made better with the cranberries. I should have trusted the recipe. Cookies were still fabulous. So if you don't like dried fruit, go ahead and do it the way that I did it. But I really think it would have added something special. So now you're just gonna give it a stir until it's all mixed up. And by stir, I mean stir and mash. Just mash all those ingredients into that sticky dough. Just want everything good and mixed in. All right. Once we got it all, keep mashing. All right, so now once we got it all good and mashed, we're going to form the cookie. So the recipe gets real technical about the cookie. It's also, just so you know, I've linked it and it's in my description box, the actual recipe. I just took a big spoonful of the batter, put it on the baking sheet that I've got some parchment paper on, and then I made a little indentation in the middle, and I put a spoonful of cookie butter in there. A small spoonful, nothing big. Yeah, not even a spoonful, it was like the tip of it. Mash that in there, and then I'm going to take a little piece of the dough, and I'm going to flatten it. Not too thin, because you don't want your cookie butter to bust out, but a decent size, and then I mash it on top of the cookie, smush it down a little bit, and made sure that the seams were connected so the cookie butter doesn't come out. So that is what I did. So then I went ahead and did the tray. I made sure to give them plenty of space to bake because I wasn't sure if they were going to get bigger. They didn't really spread out, but I still think that they were good baked this way. The recipe also says to do one pan at a time. Do not, and I do agree, don't overcrowd the oven. These definitely need the space to cook, but the directions were good, and you don't have to refrigerate the dough before you make the cookies. Just keep it refrigerated in between the batches that you make. So we got all that done. You can also top the cookies with more of the stuff you put in there, which I did. This is what they look like before I put them into the oven. Just smashed on a few extra things. All right, so we're gonna put these in the oven at 350 for about 16 minutes. Once those 16 minutes are up, pull them out. They should be a little brown around the edges. You're gonna take the whole pan, put it on one of those wire cooling racks, and let it cool for about 10 minutes because cookies are gonna be real soft. And then you're going to take them off of the pan and put them on their own wire cooling rack to cook the rest of the way. That's because they're really soft and you obviously don't want them to fall apart and have cookie butter everywhere. So here is the finished product. Oh my Lanta, these were so good. So good. I love them. And I'm actually not a sweets person. These were delicious. I had one after it cooled a little bit, but was still warm. Oh, and I made my husband eat one, even though he didn't want a cookie this early in the morning. They were amazing. So next, I'm going to show you what it looks like on the inside, where you've got that creamy cookie butter center. So here we go. Pop it open. It's kind of hard to see because, you know, the cookie butter is the same color as the cookie, but you can see it a little bit right there. Oh, I plan on taking these over to my best friend's house tonight to share with her. So yummy. I really hope that you go ahead and try these. Thank you so much for watching today. I really hope that you got some great ideas for some holiday desserts. If you did like this video, please be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss any of the fun stuff that we do over here. What's for dinners, lots of food stuff. I hope everyone has a wonderful day. Thank you.